All right, guys. Today I want to discuss what we're gauging progress off of. All right. So you guys could just unmute yourselves real quick if you'd like to, or you could just type it in the chat. But I'm just curious, just say out loud in like 3-4 words. I'm curious, like, to know what has been the biggest win for you so far since starting with Real Results Fitness. Like, what's been your biggest win since starting with Real Results Fitness? Just anybody type it out or say it out loud. Unmute yourselves. Go.
Dropping the weight for sure.
Dropping the weight for Mark.
So I'm sorry.
Eating proper food.
Eating proper food.
I would say nutrition.
Nutrition. What about it?
Just understanding the fundamentals and the principle of how that impacts your fitness journey and just everything else around it.
Cool. Cool. Thank you. Sarah
Macros and calories, bro.
Say it again.
The macros and calories.
Macros and calories. Okay, cool. Anyone else? No? Good, good. I feel like lifting has been, Sarah says nutrition, results. Vanessa says, I feel like lifting has been more enjoyable and now I see how it can be meditation to the mind. Good, good, good. Cool, guys. Now I want you to ask, and I want you to say, I want everybody to say this or type it out loud. Now I want you to ask yourself or say out loud, what are you gauging your progress off of weekly? So every week, whether it's Monday, when you're doing the pictures and wins, or whether it's Tuesday or Thursday, or whatever it is, what are you gauging your progress off of weekly?
How flat my tummy is.
What is it?
I said how flat my tummy feels or is.
Okay. How flat your tummy feels or is, okay.
How I fit into my clothes.
How you fit into your clothes,
Yeah.
Mark?
I gauge it off the check-ins and my progress, like in the gym as well.
Like on the app?
Yeah, on the apps. So like the check-ins, when I check in, it's like if I go down in a measurement or if I go down in weight and it's my workouts like increase, whether it's just like an extra rep or I decrease my time in cardio or I go up a little bit, it's like in weights. That's how I gauge my progress.
Anyone
That's
else?
like the first answer, but you know.
No. It's a good answer. Thank you.
I gauge my progress on the Monday check-ins where I started and where I'm at. It's a totally different person, bro.
Yeah. The chat here. Vanessa says, like, oh, sorry, I read that one already. Sarah says, off my progress, off of weight, measurements, clothes fitting, mental. I look at the whole picture. Good, good, good. And that's actually what we're talking about today. We're talking about the whole picture. Who here has said, whether it's been to me or to yourself or to out loud or to a friend, that I don't really care about the weight. I want to kind of lose fat and I don't mind if I stay the same weight, but my body looks completely different. Just like by show of hands. Cool. So this week, I've been getting a lot of messages. I feel like you guys all tag teamed. You guys all messaged each other and messaged me the same thing. And that's why I wanted to discuss this topic today. But guys, you cannot let one form of measurement throw you completely off. Okay. And the thing that I've been hearing the most this week is my weight has gone up, my weight has maintained, or my weight isn't moving, or my weight has gone up, but my clothes are fitting better. I had to buy a new pair of pants and they were falling off of me. And my inches are down, but the weight is still staying the same. What does that sound like to you guys? Just type it in the chat. Type it in the chat real quick. What does that sound like to you guys? To me, that sounds like progress. I'll say what that sounds like to me, but I want you guys to type in the chat what that sounds like to you. Building muscle, that sounds awesome. Change. Progress. Change. I literally just said this. A lot of people just said this. You know, and I get the message from men and women, right? It's like I see everybody else in the group, and I saw that this person lost a pound. This person's been losing 30 pounds. This person's lost 30 pounds in their time, and my inches have gone down this week, but my weight has stayed the same. Like, guys, we're not trying to like make weight for a wrestling match. We're trying to make sure that our body composition changes. All right. And that's why so one, again, this is another reason to hammer down why it's so important to get your pictures, your measurements, and your weigh-ins. Okay. Because a lot of people on their check-ins, when I showed them or when they said this, we went to where their like weigh-ins and pictures are and all of that. And then they saw, they're like, oh, I've been losing about a pound a week or a pound and a half a week, or, oh, I've lost 3 inches over the last 3 weeks off my waist. And that's why it's so important to do that, guys. But just the number isn't anything. And we've said this before, and I'll say it a million times again. If you want the most accurate form of weigh-in and measurement, okay, if you want the most accurate form of like weighing in and measuring yourself, then it's going to be, these are the actionable steps. Okay, so guys, just type this in the chat. All right, so number one, if you want the most accurate form of weighing yourself, is have your last meal by the same time every night. So have last meal by the same time every night. That's going to be number one. If you want the most accurate form of weighing yourself, have your last meal at the same time every night. Number two is make sure you're getting enough water. Two is get enough water. Three is going to have a consistent sleep schedule. This is scary for a lot of people. Have a consistent sleep schedule. Four is coffee. No, I'm just kidding. Four is weighing yourself at the same time every morning. I'm not saying you have to do this, but this is how you get the most accurate form of weighing yourself. All right. That being said, even if you do all of this, you will have weight fluctuations. All right. Because unless you're eating the same exact foods every day, which, like, yeah, in the beginning of the, like, as you start and as you're starting the program, that's kind of what you're doing, right? Because we're just trying to get down the basics. But as you start learning more about nutrition and start substituting foods, if you're eating the same exact foods every day, and you did all four of those things that I just mentioned, you'll still have a weight fluctuation, just because sometimes your body will want to hang on to it at certain times of your life, right? Whether you had a high sodium meal, or for women, if it's that time of the month, like whatever it is, right? Sometimes your body is going to want to hang on to a certain weight. But weight is not the only form of measurement. Again, guys, we're not trying to cut to a certain weight for like a wrestling match, right? We're trying to change our body composition. So that's why we take pictures, right? That's why every week or every now and then, I'll show you your pictures and I'll be like, look at the changes that you've done, right? So pictures, your weight is another form of measurement. The way you measure yourself, right? How you feel, energy, how your clothes are fitting. Guys, this stuff is not gonna lie to you. So like if you have an old pair of jeans in your closet and you wear them and they fit comfortably and they fit ridiculously tight or uncomfortable, or they didn't fit before, but the weight didn't change, or the weight didn't change from week to week, that's a huge win, guys. That's your body composition changing. which is ideal, which is what a lot of people, what a lot of you said that you've said before and or wanted, or a lot of us would want, which is you're technically losing fat and gaining muscle at the same time. So you cannot let one number dictate everything. I have progress pictures from week to week that look consistently different. Like the current week would look consistently like way different than the previous week in a good way, but my weight would be up a pound, or my weight would be up a pound and a half. Who cares? It's not like at this number, you're gonna look this way, right? Obviously weight loss and fat loss has, you know, there's like a intersection, right? And we don't want to fool ourselves saying like, I think I'm gaining muscle and losing fat if it's been like 3 or 4 weeks and you haven't been tracking your food and you're just kind of doing everything loosely, doing more cardio, doing less cardio. There's that factor, right? But if you're doing what you need to be doing and and the pictures look different, or your measurements have gone down, or your clothes feel different, guys, these are multiple forms of how you should be gauging your progress. Another one that Mark said was gauging his progress while he was doing his workouts, right? He noticed he could do more weight or more reps or shorten the rest time. Like that's another way to gauge progress. If you needed to rest a minute and a half to do the same exact weight, to do a certain weight, and now you're resting 45 seconds to a minute, like that's a huge victory. Your work capacity has gone up, and so has your cardiovascular capacity, right? So guys, don't get hung up on a number. Don't fool yourself. Don't lie to yourself thinking that I'm gaining muscle and losing fat and you're not tracking anything and not doing your workouts and not doing what you're supposed to be doing. But if you are doing the stuff that you are supposed to be doing, and the weight spikes up on one day or 2 days, but measurements are down, pictures look different, clothes feel different. These are huge wins, guys. And I think we need to start focusing on that a little bit more, so you don't feel like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I did. Everything I did was perfect. Like, don't get discouraged from not seeing one form of measurement go down. If your workouts are feeling better, your jeans are fitting better, inches are moving down, any of that stuff, like guys, these are all huge wins. So that is it for today's roundtable. I'm going to take a picture before we get out of here. I'm going to do the flex. You guys can do whatever you want. Chris, welcome. 3, 2, 1. Guys, do you have any questions?
Yeah, are you gonna decrease my cardio? Because you said next question somewhere.
Your cardio is increasing, buddy.
Oh, well, hey, peace out.
Guys, quick takeaways. In a sentence or two, I'll go around the circle. Sarah, what's been your biggest takeaway?
That getting through my basics is a win. Like my standard, having my standard as my basics, or my basics as my standard, and being able to get through them without a challenge, that it's a win.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. Mark, what's been your biggest takeaway?
Biggest takeaway is, just the little victories, like you said. Weight's not the only way to gauge progress, so that's a big victory. And then on top of that, it's like what Sarah said, the basics, like what you told us to type into the chat. It's pretty simple. It's like, we work out, the compound movements. It's just like a simple routine. We just gotta stick to it, be consistent with it. So that's my biggest takeaway.
Yeah. Thank you. Loli, what's been your biggest takeaway?
From the Zoom?
Yeah, from this lesson.
Just a little information you gave us. I like the fact that you broke down how eating at the same time, the last meal makes a huge difference. I knew water is good for us to drink a lot of water. But the main thing was trying to be consistent at eating at the same time every night with your last meal. I'm gonna try to start doing that because ours vary. One day we'll eat, but
Yeah, and
sometimes you
again-
get home late.
Yeah, and again, that's if that's if you really want to start seeing it more consistent. Like,
Yeah,
I would do, like, I'm a night owl, but I would do it like when I used to do it, and I'm like, all right, I want to just like get consistent. My last meal would be by midnight, before midnight, and that's it. No matter what, last meal is before midnight. So that way I started having a more consistent basis. But also, guys, this is why we weigh in 3 times a week and not just weigh in on Monday, right? Nero, what's been your biggest takeaway? Thank you, Logan.
That there's not just one form of progress, or not to just fixate on just one aspect of the progress. But sometimes I think I said in my nutrition, in my check-in, that, oh, I think I'm off of my nutrition, and you showed me, and I was like, oh, I'm actually really consistent and actually consistently good. So it's not just one, don't let one metric trip you up, because there's still loads of other progress we made in the areas. So focus on that.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Claudia, what's been your biggest takeaway?
I would say there's 2. Obviously the progress, there's different ways to see that you're progressing, and then celebrating those wins. So I guess when you make us aware, it definitely helps, because I didn't realize that obviously the smaller gaps in the pauses in between workouts is a progress. I just kind of went on, and sometimes when you acknowledge those small wins, it encourages you to kind of push harder.
Yeah.
So that's definitely something that I took away.
Absolutely, guys. Like, think of, let's say you have decreased your rest time for your workouts, and let's say you're using the same exact weight. Imagine doing that when you started. You think you could have done that? Like, probably not, right? So that's a huge win. That's not to go too far off, but that's like your work capacity going up. So meaning that next time you do your workout, right, you can probably do more reps at that same weight or more weight, because you've gotten stronger by shortening your rest time. And now you can do it, like, now you get like, okay, cool, let me start over, go back to lengthening my rest time, but I'm gonna go with a little bit heavier of a weight. Does that make sense, guys? Yeah, cool. Yeah, own that stuff, guys. Like, these are huge victories. Cool. Is that it, Claudia?
Yes.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Bobby, biggest takeaway from today?
I believe Naira's the one that said it. I got the same thing, is that look at all forms of measurements of progress, bro, because if you just focus on the weight and you don't go down, you won't feel that good. But I tend to look at pictures and look at my consistency. That's my biggest takeaway. Even though you say it over and over and over again, sometimes we forget, and we just need to concentrate on the whole picture, not just a small part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Very cool, guys. Awesome. Any questions before we go out? Anything anybody wants to bring up? Awesome, guys. All right, let's finish this week strong. You guys all have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll talk to you later.